Acquiring free agents may be good for a team's overall value, but for an individual player's fantasy football value, some free agent signings may result in a downgrade. I'm Bill Enright, and that's what we're talking about with SI fantasy analyst Michael Fabiano. Fab, let's kick it off with the quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson, he wants out of Houston. We'll see if that comes to fruition. But right now, he lost a couple of his playmakers, and you have him on your downgrade list.
Yeah, and Watson now for the second straight season has lost his number one wide receiver, right? The Texans inexplicably traded Nuke Hopkins last year, and now Will Fuller has gone to the Miami Dolphins on a one-year deal, which means Brandon Cooks is his number one and everybody else moves up. And so Watson, and I know he's great. Listen, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League, but you have to wonder at what point does regression start to come when the talent around you disintegrates? And you know what, Bill? We've also got to factor in Watson's having a very difficult off the field offseason. So his stock is certainly in a bit of flux right now.
Certainly a lot of allegations and lawsuits are coming to fruition right now with Deshaun Watson or being alleged about Deshaun Watson's off the field behavior. Let's move over to running backs. Josh Jacobs, he was one of the few bell cows in the NFL, but now they signed Kenyon Drake. What do you make of that Raiders backfield?
Yeah, you mean Kenyon Drake. This one stinks because we all like Jacobs as a back of the first round pick, maybe right at the turn, second round pick. And now you look at the numbers. He had a very high target share and touch share this past season, right? Jacobs is going to come in now and be in a committee. And Kenyon Drake had a 30% touch share with the Cardinals. Now that's going to decline. Both players are going to lose value. I can't draft Josh Jacobs now as anything more than an RB2 because his ceiling as a pass catcher has really diminished. And let's be honest, he wasn't that great as a pass catcher from a production standpoint in his first couple of seasons in the NFL. So maybe this move is fun for John Gruden. It kind of stinks for fantasy managers. So both players now lose value in what was easily the worst free agent move from a fantasy football perspective.
Let's go over to wide receivers and to Pittsburgh we go, where Chase Claypool had a great rookie season. The news that Ben Roethlisberger is coming back on a one-year deal, that's exciting. And then all of a sudden, Juju Smith-Schuster re-signs with the Steelers, and that has a bad effect on Chase Claypool's overall value.
Exactly, because we all thought Juju was gone. I mean, he even posted on his social media that he didn't know if he was going to be back in Pittsburgh, and he turned down all the offers to stay in the Steel City, which was great for him. It's great for Ben Roethlisberger, but it's not good for Chase Claypool, who was third in target share among Steelers wide receivers last year at 16.7. It's great the Steelers throw the football a ton, almost 65% of the time last year, but hey, there's a lot of mouths to feed. Deontay Johnson was the guy in terms of targets. Juju was next, and then it was Claypool. I don't know that that's going to change in 2021, so Claypool's ceiling takes a little bit of a hit, my man.
All right, let's go finish up with some tight ends. Now, the quarterback for the Giants, Daniel Jones, he was on your upgrade list, players that got a boost in fantasy value after free agency, but his tight end, Evan Ingram, you have him on your downgrade list.
Yeah, he's been a disappointment, right? He was 15th in fantasy points among tight ends last year, which is not good. That's not a starting tight end from a fantasy perspective. And he had a near 22% target share. That's a lot for a tight end. And that's going to go right down the tank when you bring in Kenny Galladay and pay him all that money. When you bring in Kyle Rudolph, and Rudolph's target share was nearly 8 last year. It's not a ton, but it all adds up. So Evan Ingram goes from being maybe a tight end 1, back end tight end 1 to a guy that you're probably drafting late as a tight end 2, really concerned that his target share is going to take a pretty significant hit.
When it comes to fantasy football, there is no off season here at Sports Illustrated. Michael Fabiano has plenty more strategy, advice, and alerts up at si.com/fantasy. Go check it out.